that we all do stupid things when we're drunk, get in bar fights, all this stupid shit that we don't remember the next day.
Yep.
Gone, dude.
Yep.
Gone. So that's the best part too. Do you think, and people are going to disagree with this, do you think it's addictive?
100%.
Or you become reliant on it almost? I got a cold from an ice bath. I did my first ever ice bath, and later that night I got a cold.
Really?
I don't know. My body went into shock.
Just do a fast right across from the tracks. Try to take my world, but I got that bitch back. My heart in this heart attack.
Welcome to Humble Hustle Podcast, my friends. I'm your host, Jake Merkis, alongside
Cameron Scudder.
And we have a juicy, deep conversation today that we're going to have about some substance abuse that we've been fighting with, and we feel phenomenal. And maybe you can relate out there. Maybe if you're going through alcoholism or drugism and you want to get sober, this is an episode for you. And not that it was a problem for us.
It was a problem for me.
Really?
Yeah, for sure.
Well, real quick, I'll talk on the alcohol side, and you could talk on the weed side.
Yeah.
Okay.
Let's do it.
Just kind of explain where you were at and how far you've come.
The thing that I struggled with was weed. And ever since it became legal and you could be 21, it was very easy to get. And basically, once I got into college, I had that freedom and I started partaking in smoking weed. Mm-hmm. And I could because I didn't have any parents or anyone watching me. So I just was like, all right, I enjoy this, whatever. And then it just got to the point where it was almost every day, pretty much almost every day. And I noticed that it was taking time away from like activities that could make me better as like a person, or at the time I was playing baseball. Mm-hmm. So as a baseball player and just things like that. And
were you thinking like recovery and like
and just
good
like
sleep, good appetite?
Exactly.
Some of the pros that do come with it?
Yes, the appetite for sure, the food, nutrition. I wasn't fueling my body right, because when I would smoke, I would get like a sweet tooth. Mm-hmm. And just eat bad junk food, and obviously that's not going to help my body recover and give it the nutrients it needs. But then also the sleeping is, I would like to like watch TV shows or movies like late at night when I would smoke weed, and it would take time away from my sleep, which I feel like is a huge part of the recovering process. So that's a few ways it affected me. After about a year into it, I started realizing it was becoming a problem. And then
now during that year, were you one of those guys who was like very pro weed? Like it's good for you. Nobody can tell you otherwise. Like
100%. I'm glad that you just said that, because yes, I was telling everyone that it's a plant.
It's a plant. It's natural. It's good for you.
It's good. It has CBD. It's good for you. I didn't even know what I was saying, to be honest. I didn't even really know the health benefits of it.
You were just riding the roller coaster.
Exactly. I was listening to the social media reels and stuff like that. But yeah, so I was definitely pushing for it that year, and I think it was just me using it as an excuse to keep smoking. Mm-hmm. It wasn't really me actually reaping the benefits of it.
You're making the excuse for yourself, too.
Yeah, exactly.
Saying all those things, and you just kind of like
trying to make myself feel better.
Give yourself
about
the easy way out. Yeah.
Mm-hmm. And so after that year, I finally started realizing it's kind of like hindering me and becoming a better, just like I said, baseball player and just person in general. Mm-hmm. And that was another thing, is I started noticing like my communication skills. I don't know what it does to the brain, but I just realized that like I was like, it was like, what's it called? Brain fog.
No, it's a D something. There's 3 Ds to it.
So my memory was it was horrible. It still is kind of horrible. And I think that's because of all the times that I did smoke, and it kind of impacted me that way. I think my brain's still trying to like recover and from it.
It takes 7 years.
Really?
Yep. To retrain your brain to go back to a sober state that you were pre-smoking.
Very interesting.
It alters the brain chemistry, and it takes 7 years. So, just something to think about.
Yeah, no, interesting. I didn't know that.
You know, the devil's lettuce eventually will have adverse reactions. It's happened to every single person I know that would smoke every single day. And it's to a point where they can no longer smoke, or else they'll have severe panic attacks. Happened to a bunch of my friends.
All right, so I'm not sure how old the girl is in this video, but when you start smoking at a young age and then you smoke every single day, what happens is it interferes with your brain's development. And this can lower your IQ, it can increase the risk of psychosis, it can lead to more anxiety, and that's often manifested in the from panic attacks. And like I said, I don't know how old this girl is, but you think that when you're young, you're invincible and you can get away with anything. When in actuality, this is the time that you probably should avoid smoking. And if you want to start, it's probably best to do it after your brain is
He
formed.
talks more about the panic attack side, but it's like a disassociation kind of. And I'm forgetting the word. It's going to drive me nuts.
It's okay.
But finish. Go ahead.
Brain fog and my speech.
Communication skills.
I could tell, my communicating, and I still struggle with that so bad today. I want to take some classes on it.
I don't think you need to. I'm just letting you know. You do great.
And
a lot of it, I mean, obviously on this podcast too, a lot of it I think is you're just in your head. Kind of like when you smoke, you kind of get in that panic attack feel. You're all in your head about it. Your heart rate, you think you're gonna die. You have trouble breathing, and then it kind of lingers over to then you're in your head about this and that. And like when you're in that state and you're thinking about, how do I sound to people? How am I talking? How am I moving? I'm not myself. You come out of that, but you're still kind of stuck in that mindset, and it really alters the brain chemistry really bad.
Yeah. And that's another thing. That's kind of why I finally was like, enough is enough, because of the anxiety that I was getting when I would like smoke or edibles or whatever it was. I just, like you said, my heart would start pounding and I would get these just bad thoughts, and anxiety would just start creeping in, and it just was like, it was just getting out of hand. I just had enough. So I was like,
do you think, and people are going to disagree with this, do you think it's addictive?
100%. Yeah.
Or you become reliant on it almost?
I think so. I know I did. Or I didn't really I wasn't really reliant on it, but it was very, like, it was addicting. Like I would come home and just want to relax and smoke weed. And
I need to smoke to go to bed. I need to smoke to function. I need to smoke to do anything really. So it is addictive.
Yes.
But I don't know. I think anything can be addicting.
Yeah.
If you rely on it and you need it, then it's addicting.
Yeah. Just this whole thing with anxiety. I once I started, another thing that kind of pushed me away from it was just my relationship with God.
Good.
That this year especially, I've kind of pushed to better my relationship with God, and I also have seen some answers about that, like just reading the Bible and hearing all these different sermons. I realized that if it's something that like I'm addicted to, then I need to just stay away from it. And I don't know why they call it the devil's lettuce. Like that girl, she called it
literally,
the devil's. Yeah. And I think it's only just because it's very addictive. So, and I think that's like one of the things that they want you to stay away from, is things that are addicting or whatever. So I don't know, those two things, the anxiety and just the chase to have a better relationship with God, have helped me kind of get away from it. And I've just noticed that I'm a lot more productive throughout my days, way more productive. Like now, instead of, or like in the evening times, or even in the mornings, I would smoke weed, and it would just kind of like on days off, and I would just not do anything because I was lazy and I didn't want to. Every time I smoked weed, I would just want to sit on a couch or lay in bed and watch something, or just like literally relax. But now
did you have a wake up call one day that you just kind of were like, or was it your relationship with God, or was there a specific time you were high where you're like, I'm done, this is it, I need to put this aside? Did you grow out of it?
I feel like the wake up call for me was the mushroom experience that I had.
Yeah.
And
scary.
And that, ever since that, I haven't touched it. And so maybe that might have been it, but it was something that I've been battling for years to get away from. And then maybe, that was probably the breaking point. And just a quick little story on the mushroom experience. Psychedelic mushrooms, I've done them a few times, had good experiences with them. I don't think they're harmful. I don't think they're very addictive, at least for me. My personal experience, I never was addicted to them ever. I've just had good experiences with them, full of gratitude, connected a lot of dots about just like life and stuff. So before this bad experience, I was all for them, very, very once a year, maybe, whatever floats your boat, I guess. I don't know. But it was this past time that I had a trip or whatever, and it was just a bad experience. I had horrible anxiety throughout the entire trip, and I was just having terrible thoughts, thinking I was going to die, almost calling the cops.
Yeah.
For
Scary.
it was like for 3 or 4 hours of just
Mhm.
like panicking, and it was the worst
Mhm.
time I've ever had in my life. The worst 3 to 4 hours. It felt like a whole day of just
Mhm.
stuck in this like trip that I couldn't get out of, and I was sitting there fighting it and fighting it and fighting it, and I just couldn't get out of it. But ever since that was probably the breaking point where I was like, I'm just done
Mhm.
with just everything. And I don't know if that was maybe God's way of telling me or of kind of helping me just finally get over the hump of smoking weed and just getting, past it. But that was definitely the point where I was like, all right, no
That's
more.
scary.
Yep,
Yeah.
enough's enough.
That's why I'll never touch that stuff. I've heard horror stories, and I'm just like, it's not for me.
Yeah.
With my allergies, I probably can't get near any of that stuff. So
Yeah.
I'm good. Well, that's good, dude. I'm glad you dug yourself out of that rabbit hole.
Yeah.
It's hard for a lot of people. A lot of people are probably still going through it.
Yes.
They may not even understand the negatives to it yet. Especially when you're starting out and you're trying some of that stuff, you're just kind of numb to it, and you're just all about getting high and feeling good and just letting your mind calm down, getting sleep, appetite, whatever. But again, I forgot who said it best, but just because it's on the planet doesn't mean you have to go smoke it. Everyone's like, oh, well, it's natural, it's a plant. Well, for some people, and for some people, it's fine. Some people can go about their day, they
and they
can
do
function
great with
well,
it. That's
they
what
can
I'm
do great.
saying. Yeah.
But for you, I mean, you could firsthand say that you're way better off of it.
100%.
And you used to be very pro weed.
Yes.
So there you go.
Yeah.
So
and just real quick, it was something that I struggled with for years in my inside of me.
Mhm.
I didn't really tell many people about it. I was just kind of struggling with it. So I don't know if anyone is out there and they're struggling with something that they know is wrong, but they continue to keep doing it and they're addicted to it, and they're just battling that within themselves.
And they know in the back of their head, deep down, they probably shouldn't do it, or
Yes.
they want to stop.
Yes.
Or maybe it's their friends that are still doing it. Their circle is all doing it, and they just kind of feel like, oh, I have to. I should. I'm going to keep doing it. How do I break through that wall? Just do it. Just try. And I'm going to circle back to this in a second. But go ahead. Sorry,
No, I was just gonna say it's perfectly normal to struggle like that. You're not alone. You're not out there by yourself, because that's how I felt. I just felt like I was the only one thinking these thoughts, that I was like, oh, this is not good for me, but I'm gonna do it anyways because all my friends do it, and I used to love it, but I was just throwing all those thoughts aside and just not really speaking out and just not really listening to myself, I guess. And then once I started listening to myself, once that thing happened, then I really started listening to myself. And I'm like, I know for a fact that's not good. So I was like, enough's enough. And but I just know that there's hope for everyone out there who is struggling with stuff like that.
Definitely. So. And let us know too. We're here to help.
Yeah.
We'll be like your therapist or something.
And I don't like to push stuff on people, but the thing that helped me, I think, the most was probably God, because I feel like that experience was God, like his message to me. And it was just kind of ironic that I was like chasing God at the time, and then that happened, and now I'm on a way better path, and I'm still continuing to chase God. So,
and you're saving money, which is good. He's probably patting you on the back too, like, good job, fella. Yeah. That's gas money. Yeah. Not that type of gas money.
Yeah,
gas money.
No, yes.
All right, well, dude, props, brother. I'm
Thanks,
proud of you. I'm proud of you.
Yeah.
I'll talk on pretty much the same topic, but with alcohol.
Yes, because that was your thing. Yep.
Yeah. What's the date today? I am 3 days away from 6 months sober.
Jeez.
Nothing, dude. And I was, yes, golf claps. I was one of those guys who just drank for every occasion. I wasn't an alcoholic because I can go a week or 2 weeks, or just whenever there was a social gathering, I would just drink.
Mm-hmm.
We go to dinner. The more I talk about it, I sound like an alcoholic.
Yeah.
But
yeah.
I was one of those guys who was like a closet drinker. If ever we went out, I would drink with everybody. And I always felt like I have to have a drink to have a good time.
Yeah.
We go out to dinner. We go to the bars, the clubs. We hang out here at the house. Everyone, we just have a drink and we have a good time.
Is there a word for that? Is that social drinking?
It's social drinking.
Is that what it's called?
It's social drinking.
Okay.
But when you're drinking for every single social event,
yeah,
it's more than just social drinking. It's a social. It's a problem.
Yeah.
And I had a problem.
Yes.
And I never really thought it was alcohol, because I started drinking back in high school, and it just never really stopped. I went on a cleanse last year for almost 2 months, which is pretty sad, from the age of like 15 to 20, last year, 25, 26. that the longest I went was 2 months without
Mhm.
drinking. That just shows you how much alcohol we consume, even if it's just socially. Again, it adds up.
Especially if you're a social person, you like to go out with your friends and stuff.
Yes, and you think I have to be buzzed to like come out of my shell.
Yeah.
I have to be buzzed to be confident. I have to drink to have a conversation, to have a good time.
Yep.
And I went 2 months last year, and then I caved. We went to Las Vegas. Obviously, I drank there. I came home, and it was a great trip, but I just kind of felt like definitely had regret.
Like you let yourself
I
down.
let myself down.
Yeah.
And I'm like, here I am hungover, checking my bank account, each drink out there in Vegas,
Oh,
$25, some drinks for
my-
$40.
that's
And I'm
insane.
looking and I'm like, man, I had like, I don't know, at the bar at least like 30 drinks all weekend. I'm drinking in the hotel room. It's just, I mean, yeah, we had a great time, but I'm like, what a waste. And I'm just poisoning my body.
Yeah.
So, what are we in now? May, almost June. I came back from Cabo back in December. And of course, it was one of those all-inclusive. We had tequila taps in the room. I just drank the whole weekend.
Mhm.
And I remember flying home. I was like, dude, this has got to stop. I could just feel like my brain shutting down, my body shutting down, my kidneys, my stomach, my whole body. I came home and I slept for 2 days. And I said, I got to just knock this shit off.
Mhm.
And unless I go cold turkey, it's never going to stop.
Mhm.
So I just decided that day, again, just rip the Band-Aid off and stop drinking.
You know what's funny, real quick about that?
Yeah.
Is that was the same time that when you went to Cabo,
Yes.
that's when I had the trip.
Yes.
So that's when we both kind of had
It was like
our
a wake-up
moments.
call. It
Yeah,
was a wake-up
it's so crazy.
It was a wake-up call.
It's
And I
at the
said,
same
dude,
time.
and I'm a big advocate on taking yourself seriously. Don't let yourself down. And if you are going to say, I'm going to quit smoking or drinking and you don't stop, you just, if you lose control of yourself, you're done.
Mhm.
You're done. So if you look yourself in the mirror and say, I am done drinking, then just be done. There shouldn't be like, I'm going to steadily go off. And there's true addicts out there. I'm not going to speak on behalf of them, but for me, I wasn't a true addict.
Yeah.
So I was able to just go off cold turkey. And dude, again, you don't notice the side effects, I guess, or the differences for the first month or two. But by month 3, dude, I feel like a brand new person.
Mm.
I honestly, I will never drink again and I will be just fine. I feel good. I feel more clear. I feel more confident. My mental health is better. My physical health is better.
Yeah.
There's no better feeling than waking up like on a Saturday or Sunday, no hangover.
And just ready to go.
Yeah, you saved $100 on drinks from the night before.
Yeah.
I mean, in the last 6 months, I have saved thousands of dollars on alcohol.
And
I feel better. So it's like the payoff is I have more money in my account. I feel better. I can still go out with my group and have a good time sober. I don't have to be drunk to have a good time.
Mm-hmm.
I have to be drunk to act like a jackass. That's for sure. But to have a good time, I don't need to be drunk. So,
Yeah.
dude, I feel brand new. It's
Good.
the best feeling.
Good.
And I never
Good.
would have thought, because I'm always like everybody else. Oh, everybody drinks.
Yes.
It's normal to go out and have a drink at the bar. It's normal to go out to dinner and have a drink. Drink here, drink there. And dude, it's really bad for you. It's
Mhm.
really, and they're starting to do studies on it, and they're realizing that it obviously it's poison. But dude, I feel, and again, you won't notice it at first. Obviously, if you go a week sober, you're not going to notice the differences. But by that 3rd month, bro, night and day difference.
I feel it like it feels good, or you're more confident when you say, like you said, when you say you're going to do something and you're doing it for, like you said, 6 months now, and you can proudly say, like, yeah, I haven't done anything. I think that feels so good.
And once you get over every obstacle of a drunk situation, you're fine.
Yeah.
I'm like, all right, I can go out to the bars and clubs and I could be sober and have a good time. I can go to weddings. I went to a wedding with Megan.
Mhm.
Everyone drinks at weddings. I was sober. I still had a good time. So all these things that I thought I had to be drunk for to have a good time, I'm doing it sober.
Yep.
And I feel way better.
Yep.
Dude, no hangover is the best feeling ever.
Mm-hmm. I
Those,
agree.
I'm 27 now. The hangovers they're not worth it. They're not worth it.
And that's as sad as this sounds, but that's another reason why I smoked weed, because I wasn't a huge drinker. I would do it occasionally, but it was because I was like, oh, I don't get any hangovers or whatever, and I think I'd be like all like proud of it, and like, yeah, weed's so much better and all this stuff. And it's like, and just like the excuses that I'd give myself, but anyway.
I feel sharper. I feel more well spoken. Like 6 months ago,
Good.
I could not get through a podcast episode from start to finish without stopping, without editing, without stumbling, without getting in my head, without being anxious. These are things that when you drink, they carry over for days later. You don't
Yeah.
realize it. You think, oh, once the hangover is gone, I'm new again. No, that stuff lingers.
Well, you complimented me earlier, so I'm going to compliment you. I think you speak really well.
Thank you, bro. Thank
Since
you.
I've met you, I thought you've spoken very well.
Really?
You what's the word? Articulate your words really well. Like
Thank
it's
you.
very clear. Every word's very clear. That's the thing.
I appreciate that because that was my my biggest insecurity, and a lot of it was from alcohol. I kind of have like a rushed, kind of jittery speech, and I think again it was that hangover that carried over, and I feel a lot better now. I mean, it's not perfect, and again, this could take time, and I'm not going to say it's all drug, alcohol, whatever, but a lot of it is probably just your brain adapting.
Yeah.
And I don't know, dude. I just feel like substance is so common nowadays that I think all of us, I mean, a lot of us were only teenagers back then, but we all were probably in a much better place pre-substance. Back when you were just an innocent kid and your brain was you weren't harming your body, you weren't harming your brain. You know, trying to have a good time. You were just pure.
Yeah.
And like that's where I feel like I'm at again.
I feel like that's the agenda for our generation now, is just to go out and party and drink and all this stuff. And I think it's just to keep us down, to keep us down, because those things, personally, from my experience, have not improved me or made me better in any way, shape, or form. So I feel like that's just the I don't know, their goal to just keep us lower.
Yeah,
you know what I mean? So
I'm speaking from experience. I feel way sharper.
Yeah.
Way better.
Yeah.
And it's like if you go out real quick, before I forget, if you go out on the weekends, let's just say you're like a Friday, Saturday, maybe a Sunday fun day drinker. For me, you drink to get buzzed. Some people drink to get shit-faced. I feel like that defeats the purpose of drinking because you're just a mess. The best part of drinking is that buzz you get for that first hour, maybe 2 hours.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
Then you kind of go over the edge, or you kind of sober up and you can't get that buzz again.
Yeah.
That buzz is the best part. That buzz, if it lasts 1 hour on Friday, 1 hour Saturday, forget Sunday. That's only 2 hours of the whole week that you really feel like good drinking.
Yeah.
And you're going to sacrifice your whole week. How many hours are in a week? There's 24 in a day times 7. That's 154.
Nice. I don't know.
So 154 hours. You're going to sacrifice that 154 hours of a crappy week mentally for 2 hours of
168.
168.
It's okay.
See, I thought I was getting sharper.
I
again.
was not going to get that, so it's okay.
Okay. Yeah, you're right, actually. Because 24 times, 168. So that actually proves my point even more. 2 hours of a good buzz for the other 166 hours. I feel like.
Real quick, let me ask you, how'd you get that math? Because now that I think about it, I should have just done 25 times 7 and subtracted 7 from it.
I don't even know how I did the math. I was wrong. I was doing 7 times 2 is 14, 140, and then I was adding 14 more, which would have been, I don't know. Made sense in my head.
But I do have a question for you.
Yes.
Would you ever drink again?
No.
Really?
I don't see a reason to. And especially if I've come this far, why restart the clock? I've already gone 6 months. Are you ever going to smoke again?
No.
Okay, so same.
Well, okay, yeah.
Same.
Okay.
Even at my wedding, I mean, if I'm going to, maybe at my wedding, I don't, honestly, bro, I don't need it.
Yeah. So I was only asking because for me, like, it was the anxiety that I was getting, and I just hate, in that trip, I will never want that. I don't ever, even when I think about it, I get little anxiety, like thoughts and stuff, and I'm like, absolutely not. So I know for a fact I'm not going to touch it. But for you, like, did you ever get anxiety?
Oh my God,
drinking?
Dude. Anxiety was my middle name.
Drinking, really?
The hangxiety, yes. Anxiety, even when I was drunk, overthinking things. If somebody looked at me funny, I let the alcohol take over, and I'm like, they don't like me. If I said something stupid, I would think about, what are my peers thinking about me? I'm killing the vibe. Yeah, dude, definitely had anxiety.
Okay.
So, and at least now when I'm sober, I'm sharp. I'm more well-spoken. There's no just blacking out, forgetting the night. Oh, you know what? This actually would be a great topic for a lot of people who drink and drive. Dude, even if you're that guy who has 1 or 2 drinks and you drive, or those people who just drive home from the bar, unfortunately, we have friends, we've told them not to, who have done it, and it's like, I never have to worry about drinking and driving.
Mm-hmm.
I never have to. I never have to worry about paying for an expensive Uber.
Yes.
I never, like, all these things that come with drinking, that we all do stupid things when we're drunk, getting bar fights, all this stupid shit that we don't remember the next day.
Yep.
Gone, dude.
Yep.
Gone. So that's the best part too. The money is ridiculous that you save.
Yeah.
Between drinking and Ubers, you go out on a Friday, Uber's usually at least $100, $50 there, $50 home.
Yeah.
You're going to buy at least $100 worth of drinks. That's only what, like 6 drinks?
Maybe, yeah.
So that's $200.
And that's once a week. If you go out once a week, and then
Twice a week.
Yeah.
That's $400.
Yeah, it gets expensive.
That's $1,600 a month.
It adds up. Yeah, that's a lot.
It's a lot of money. That's a lot of people's
You could
rent.
take all that money and invest it somewhere else.
And you can still go out and have a good time.
We're like obviously advocating for, not drinking and not smoking weed. I guess is there any middle ground in there? Is there any people can smoke and people can drink and still be productive and successful?
Yeah, definitely. I've been productive ever since I've been drinking.
Yeah.
You could still be productive, but like for me, again, if I'm going to do this, it's going to be 100%.
Yeah.
I can't go have a drink this week and then still claim being sober. And I don't know if you want to, but again, if you're just going to do in between, it's going to lead to the problem again.
Yeah. I wouldn't use it as a way to control my emotions, but I just know that I wouldn't ever get bothered when I would smoke weed. And I wasn't fulfilled really in life, and so I would think that the smokingness would kind of bring that happiness, because to me at the time it would enhance my music when I'd listen to music or when I'd watch movies. That's why I like to watch movies, because it would like enhance these things. But it was just such a short term, like temporary, like gratification kind of thing. It was almost. It was like very short term. Once it wore off, then it was like back to reality, and then it would kind of make me like not numb, but just not depressed either. I wasn't really depressed, but it was just like nothing was as exciting because the little short-term bursts that I got, and then it would wear off, and then I'd be back to normal, right?
You're just dragging.
Yeah, and then I just feel like just when I started getting closer to God, I felt like that was the most fulfilling thing I've experienced in my life. No drug or alcohol has made me feel the way I feel now, now that I have like God on my side or whatever, and I'm following Him and His doing my best to follow His word. I'm not perfect, and I'm still new to this, so I'm like learning, a lot. And there's definitely areas of my life where I can get better, but I just know that this feeling that I have now, this like little fulfillment that I have from God, is 10 times better than I have ever gotten from any drug or alcohol or anything I've gotten before.
That's a good way to put it, dude. I'm telling you, there's people out there who function fine. They love their substance. They're happy. But for the people out there who know it's an issue or deep down want to stop or at least try it, just do it.
Yes.
Just do it. The fulfillment is so much better.
Yes.
It's so much better.
I agree. Because
that's awesome.
That was me. I was like like I said, just years of just like telling myself, you gotta stop, you gotta stop. And then finally
you did it, bro.
Finally it happened. So
then you just do it. I don't even think about it. I'm not counting down the days. This is 6 months and 1 day. I stopped.
Yeah.
And I don't want to go back, and I feel better, and production's way up.
Yes.
Getting stuff done.
You kind of just went cold turkey. You didn't really have like, or I guess you did, right? You didn't have like a day or like an experience that kind of was like, all right. Or I guess you did, right?
I had
Cabo,
and this is actually years of kind of knowing deep down that I should stop.
Okay.
The hangovers and the way it would make me act and the things it would make me say, and unnecessary fights and arguments with people that I'm like, that was so dumb.
Yeah.
And just doing things I would never do sober, but just saying, oh, it's just alcohol.
So that was
the minor wake up call. But then I went to Cabo, and I could feel it physically, and I could just feel my body being like, dude, stop, please. Like this is not good. And like, you only get one body.
Yeah.
And your body is working all day for you. Your heart's constantly pumping. Your lungs are always working. Your blood's always flowing. And like, if this body's going to work for you all day, take care of it.
Mhm.
And if you're poisoning yourself, it's like, what are you doing?
Yeah.
You know, and everyone's like, oh, well, we're having a good time. You can have a good time sober.
So
Honestly.
yeah.
And actually a better time sober. I just feel like it's just sloppy, stupid, drunk fun that you think is like, oh, it's, I don't know.
So 2 things real quick. I feel like the first thing is when you go to bars and you're sober and you start to see like just the obnoxious behavior. I'm not judging anyone because I was there before.
And I don't want to be Mr. Anti-alcohol
Exactly.
now. Like, I don't want to be that guy because like,
I've been there. I've done it. Yeah.
Yes. And like, dude, if I don't know. I don't want to go the wrong way with this.
Yes.
Go have a good time. Do what you want. I'm talking about the people who are thinking about stopping. I'm just telling you the benefits of it.
Yes.
But
good work.
Yeah, dude. I mean, it's fun to still go out. I went out with Derp last week, and everyone's in there having a good time dancing. That's fine. A little bit of stupidity that you can definitely see when you're sober.
Exactly. Yeah, that's what I was trying to say. Yeah.
Yes. And you do see it, and it's funny when your friends are slurring their words, and when they're kind of like just rolling, and you're like, dude.
Yeah. But
their poor bodies, man.
Yeah,
it's their life. Yeah, they do what they want to do.
Yep,
I'm not anti-alcohol.
No judgment.
I'm just saying that I feel way better sober, and I wish I did it sooner.
Yeah.
So if you're thinking about it, just do it.
Yep. And then the second thing I was going to say was, do you think that people that are on this edge, like that that are trying to get past it, do you think that they have to have this kind of experience that we've had, like my trip and your Cabo experience, to like finally push them over the edge?
I hope not.
I was going to say, or do you think they can just
I would just do it.
Even
if it's a Tuesday morning, just say, I'm going to stop drinking. I'm going to stop smoking, and I'm going to be a better person. I hope it doesn't take a moment. I hope it doesn't take a DUI.
Yeah.
Or it doesn't take, you making a huge mistake while you're intoxicated to wake you up. It just depends how you want to go about this. Okay. If you know it's a problem, just stop.
It's a lot easier to just say, just do it.
Yes.
Than to actually, because like I said, the years that I battled it, there's so many times within those years that I was like, I'm just going to stop. This is the day I'm stopping right here. And then like, here we go. My life's going to change. And then like, I don't know, a couple days later, a week later, a month later, whatever it is, I would just the convenience of it being there and how easy it is to get it and do it while I was on my own. I would just, one time, doesn't hurt.
It's not going to hurt. And then you're right back in.
And then it slowly goes right back to the same routine.
Back in. Yes. And it's like, all right, well, I just drank Tuesdays.
So might as well. Exactly.
And it does help if you have a good support system.
Boom.
If your boys are like, hey, bro, we love you. Whatever, we're going to help support you. They're not shoving drinks in your face. Like if they're supportive, like fuck it, come have a good time with us.
That's huge.
That's huge.
Like that's huge having
your partner being like, hey, I love you, I support you. And again, this wasn't a problem.
Yeah.
It's not like I had to go through AA. And this was just like, hey, I'm going to stop drinking. And everyone in my life was supportive.
Good.
It goes back to having good friends and a good support team.
I agree.
If your friends are calling you a pussy and being like, "Oh, you bitch, fucking drink with us," like just being dogs, it's like they don't want what's best for you.
And I think that's the point when you have to start distancing yourself from people like that. Yeah. But like you said, if they're supportive, then keep being with them.
And again, I'm not going to be that friend where it's like, "Oh, now I'm sober. I don't want to hang out with people who drink."
Yes.
No, dude, you're still a good friend to me.
Yep.
I support you. I still want to be around. It's like. This is my own box.
So how do you, when you go out and you hang out with friends that are all drinking and doing all that stuff?
Which I do still. They all still drink.
Yeah, and so you just kind of
I get my Diet Coke at the bar, dude.
And you just hang out with
I just hang out. We have a good time.
Nice.
And I love being the DD, honestly.
Yeah.
It's fulfilling. I get home safe. Everyone gets home safe.
You save them money.
Yeah, save them money. I go pick them up. Everyone gets home safe. The operation is way better.
Yep.
Versus you having a DD who had a couple beers and now your DD's drunk.
Yeah. And so that's what I kind of struggled with a lot of my buddies. Obviously, I had people like friends that smoked with me. And so I was worried about that, like losing friendships because I didn't want to smoke anymore, So that's why another excuse of why I kept smoking was because I was worried about losing friendships.
If that's how your friends are going to operate, they're not friends.
But I don't think that's how they would. I think that was just me making that excuse of, wanting to keep smoking too.
Well, for a younger crowd of kids who are in high, I don't even know how you get through college without drinking. I mean, that's just it's just everywhere.
That's impressive.
That's tough. But like even the younger crowd watching who it's like that high school peer pressure.
Yeah.
Dude, I was that kid in high school. I never smoked in high school. I never smoked in high school, and dude, all my friends did, and I was that one guy who just never smoked, and I hated it, bro. I hear, you know how high school is. You hear every name in the book, and I'm just like, fuck, like I was that kid who didn't smoke.
Yeah, that's good.
But I'm happy I didn't start when I was 13. So like, even if you're like worried about peer pressure, it's easier said than done.
For my experience with it was like the cool thing to do in high school. So that's what like my initial like
which sucks because it's like that's when the brain's developing.
Yeah. But what was I gonna say?
That was your
initial like introduction to it,
like your gateway.
Yeah, like all the cool kids did it, so I was like, oh, I want to.
Oh my god, in high school, dude, so like, everyone just wants to be cool and fit in. So bad. That's the worst time, God. But it's such an important time to not be doing that stuff either.
Yeah, but you don't realize. I never realized it until now, and
it's a blessing and a curse. High school is like some of the best memories, but in a way, it's like, dude, what was I doing getting drunk? We should drink in the parking lot before first hour in my buddy's car. We had the old Svedka purple and orange bottle, or like Smirnoff, and we were just chugging that, like trying to be cool, getting drunk before first hour. It's like, bro, what are you doing?
Yeah.
You're 17, your brain's developing, you're getting drunk for breakfast. Come on, dude.
Yeah, but you don't know any
better.
Yeah,
so
everyone's got to go through it.
Real quick, to bounce off that topic, as far as what you put in your body and discipline, I want to take back what I've been saying the last year. Up until last week, this is fresh, I was very anti cooking at home and the food. Unless you want to wrap up smoking. Okay.
No, we're good. Okay. I was.
So if you asked me this question 2 weeks ago, I would have said, I'm very against cooking at home because of the time it takes, the grocery shopping, the prepping, the meal, all that stuff. I was a huge advocate for eating out for every meal because the money was the same, but for me, it was all about timing. I can go to Chipotle and back and have my meal cooked and done in 15 minutes. Yeah. Whereas when I cook from home, I have to prep everything. I have to season everything. I have to thaw the meat out. I have to cut up the vegetables. I have to, an hour and a half later,
cook it,
put
the dishes, clean the dishes away, put everything away.
Yes. And then again, do the same thing in 3 hours.
And then eat it still. Like, yeah. Oh my gosh.
Dude, I went back to the grocery store finally last week and I said, let me just try to get back in the routine of cooking at home because this eating out is not helping my gains. I don't feel great. I'm still, it's all the seed oils that are in the food. So let me just get back to eating at home. Bro, again, kind of like the alcohol, I feel like a brand new person. And Megan's really good with knowing what's good for you, what's bad for you, healthy meat, healthy eggs. I paid $10 for a carton of eggs, but they're good.
Yeah.
I feel better in the morning. Dude, I won't show the camera, but in just a week, my gut has like shrunk. And I thought Chipotle was semi-healthy. What those seed oils or whatever they put in that food are not, dude.
Yeah.
Not. I feel way better.
That's all the food is good. It's just the stuff they cook it with.
Yes.
Apparently is what I've heard. Yeah.
It's not good. Yeah. And it actually does kind of feel good to prep your meal. It feels good to cook. You feel good afterwards. I mean, it's like, I don't know. So if you're going to Chipotle twice a day out there, try eating at home again, dude. I feel way better.
Yeah.
Life's just good right now. And it's a lot of cutting all this BS out.
Yes.
A lot of just cut out the junk, cut out the fast food. Again, I drink a Diet Coke at the bar. I probably should just have a water. But cutting all this little stuff out, dude, I feel human again. I don't feel like just a shit factory.
Yeah.
I was starting to feel like Wally, like the fat guys who are just sitting there.
Sitting on it and can't move. They have to like move around with the little...
Yes, like I don't know. I feel like the equation to life is simple.
Yeah.
Just discipline, drink water as I'm drinking a Celsius. But no, for the most part, drink water, drink a healthy meal. That's next. That's my last kick is the caffeine.
Say,
that's it.
And I heard Celsius is horrible for you.
I feel really euphoric when I drink a Celsius.
What do you mean?
I feel it's hard to explain. It's like serotonin. I feel really good. For some, it's hard to explain. Like I feel like when I pop that first sip of that Celsius, dude, I could feel it like going down.
Do you think that it's a mind thing rather than like a physical thing?
Know.
Do you think like it's just
there's vitamins. I don't know what it is.
So
I feel
placebo
good.
Effect.
It is a placebo. That's the last thing I have to kick, and hopefully in the next couple episodes, I'll be like, I kicked Celsius. I'm 100% pure. But yeah, no, honestly, dude, I think the equation to life is just eat good, work out, make good decisions, good habits, and you're going to feel so much better.
Yeah.
So much better.
And it's funny that we talked about that because we just met that one guy in the sauna who talked about the app that you can get. It's called Yucca or
Yucca, yeah. Yucca,
or
if you're
Yucca.
watching.
I don't know how to say it, but
dude.
YUKA. And you can download it on your phone, and all you do is just scan the barcode, and it tells you every single ingredient that's in there, and you can click on the ingredient, and then it opens and explains like what it is and what it does to your body, how it's harmful to your body or how it's good for your body, all this stuff, and then it gives it a rating from 0 to 100. 100 being absolutely really good for your body, 0 being the worst thing you could possibly put in your body.
But this is not sponsored by Yucca.
No, yeah, absolutely not. No.
We need a sponsor, Yucca. If you're watching, sponsor us.
I think there's a bunch of apps like this too.
Yeah.
One guy happened to just mention it.
Oh, speaking of that guy.
Yeah.
And the sauna. What do you think about the sauna? Are you pro sauna? Your experience with the sauna? Are you a sauna boy?
Personally, I love the sauna, and it's not for physical things. I think for me personally, it's just a mental thing. It's not like the pushing through and getting past the 10 minutes, 15 minutes, 20 minutes, whatever. It's more of I can kind of just sit in there in a quiet space and dark space and kind of just like set my intentions for the day or whatever.
Do you meditate? I never have.
I've meditated before, and my definition of meditating is just focusing on one thing for a specific amount of time. And I think that's what meditating is.
What, the brain relax, kind of?
Yeah, relax the brain and then just have one focus the entire time. Be intentional with what you're trying to like focus on. Don't let your brain, because you know how you can get so distracted. You start thinking about one thing, and then like one thought pops in your mind. You start going on a like rabbit
tangent,
hole or whatever, and you start thinking about all these other things. If you can just sit there and focus on one thing for a specific amount of time, I consider that meditating. So I guess in a way I meditate because I have like goals in my head, and that's my sauna time is when I really just kind of sit there and kind of get everything out of my head and focus on those goals and repeat those goals in my head for I do it like 30 times, and that's what I do. That's why I love sauna so much. It's not necessarily the whole physical aspect of it. There's definitely health benefits. But that's not why I do. I think it's for me. It's just because I can set my mind and my intention during that time. So
yeah, definitely.
I love it. I love it.
I'm all for the sauna. What I want to try is sauna pre-workout. We always do it post. Let's try it before the workout.
Get your muscles loose.
Yeah. I used to go to the sauna, dude. It was bad. Here at Mountainside, I used to go to the steam room when my hangovers were that bad. Bad, bro.
Steam room's tough for me because it's so hard for me to breathe, and I know that's the point. But it's like it's so hard for me. I like them though. They're challenging, I guess. Ice baths. What do you think about ice baths? Do you like ice baths?
Dude, ice baths. They're tough.
Oh.
This might sound kind of funny. I did them last year with my buddy Jacoby. Dude, they used to make me physically sick. I got a cold from an ice bath. I did my first ever ice bath, and later that night I got a cold.
Really?
I don't know. My body went into shock, and I got a cold. So I laid off the ice bath. I do the quick cold shower rinse.
Okay.
But ice baths kind of freak me out a little bit.
Really?
I see the point. You're really shocking the body, but you're putting your body into a fight or flight mode, and dude, my body just shut down. I was like, "What are you doing, bro?"
I think that's what people love about it. Is they try to like breathe through it and get past that,
dude,
and relax.
Everyone does them these days.
Yeah.
Obviously, they're good for you. I heard it burns fat faster than any other regimen that you can do.
Yeah.
But dude, I'm not an ice bath guy.
Yeah, I don't mind them. I think we should get an ice bath.
We can use my tub, dude. We all just hop in 4 a.m.
Yes.
4 a.m. ice bath. They say if you want to be a multimillionaire, you got to take ice baths.
At 4 a.m.
At 4 a.m. and do some body mind palace and over dopamine the mind.
That I wish we had that clip.
I wish we had that guy here.
Yeah. That would be the best thing ever. Over dopamine the mind.
The mind palace.
Never.
I mean, joke's on us. He's doing pretty well in life. But.
True.
Well, brother.
So
yeah, here at Humble Hustle, we're going to hustle and we're going to stop drinking. We're going to stop smoking. We're going to go in saunas. We're going to hustle. We're going to feel good.
I love it.
Yep.
I love
Speaking of sauna, this room is a sauna, bro. I'm burning.
I just want to say, too, before we end this, proud of you.
You too, bro.
Good shit.
Let's keep it going.
Good stuff.
All right. Audience, until next time.
See you later.
Part of my ladies is be hitting slab.